Congratulations, Jordan. 50 games this week. First 10 took a while, but good going since.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I suppose. 6 years. Blokes like Cow Mills and Paps and those guys have played 100 already, and they were the same year. So for me, it's taken a bit longer, but I wouldn't change it. I'm stoked that I've sort of reached that first milestone, and first 10 were pretty hard, but since then I feel like I've really found my feet.
How many games in do you think you become a seasoned footy player? Do you feel like one now?
Oh, I'm still figuring that out. I feel like I've still got a lot to learn as a footballer, but probably took me 10, 15 games to feel comfortable at the level and feel like I could have an impact.
Have you felt like one of the older blokes this season?
Yeah, definitely. Guys like Errol and BJ and those guys coming in and having an impact straight away, it sort of makes you wonder about yourself. But it's been awesome. Those guys have really rejuvenated the group, I reckon, and it's good to see those guys come in and having an impact straight away.
50 games is a bit of a time to reflect. So what sort of areas do you think you've made the biggest improvements in?
I think I've added a lot of versatility to my game. I started as a half-forward flank and sort of moved up and down the ground. So I think just having that versatility in my game has helped a lot. And probably the last couple of years I've been really focusing on my defensive stuff, and I think that's probably been my biggest improvement.
How do you think you guys are placed at the moment, just looking at the season overall? Like it started really brightly, a few ups and downs recently, and come away from that Demons match probably disappointed, but not too deflated, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, well, I think we showed we can match it with the best, and we believe that we're one of the best teams. And we had a pretty extensive review on Monday about the Melbourne game and what we can improve and just some technical aspects. So overall, we're obviously sitting all right, but we know we've got a lot to improve on, and we're looking to do that this week against Collingwood. What
were the big takeaways then from the Demons game that seemed to be just maybe a little bit of polish and execution?
Yeah, I think that, and just maintaining that pressure and hunt throughout the whole game. We showed we could match it with them, but going forward, just the polish. We had a lot of inside 50s in the last, we couldn't capitalise, so just some execution stuff.
And you're up against the Pies this week, and Jordan De Goey bounced back into form. So what's the defensive group sort of discussed already or got planned for him this weekend?
Well, we're just thinking as a team down there, like the seven of us, it's obviously not going to be left up to one bloke to tackle him because he's obviously a gun player, and we're going to focus as a group and see how we can help each other when it comes in, not be so isolated down there. So it's just the main focus is the seven of us.
I know you're about to train, but how's Isaac Heaney looking? Is he had a couple of days since we've had an update of his ankle? Yeah,
I think he's a test. I'm not sure what he'll do today, but he'll be out there training. So I think he's a test for this week.
Jordan, just on inside 50s, just curious to ask, just like what's it like having the ball looking up and Buddy's on the lead? Is it hard not to kick to him in situations like that? I know you guys are trying to be as versatile as you possibly can in attack, but when you look up and like one of the greatest of all time is calling for it, it must be difficult to not give it to him.
Yeah, it is definitely hard not to. He's obviously a gun player, and it's hard not to kick to him when he's on the lead. So we just got to look for other guys as well. If there's two on him or something like that, we need to try and find the free. So, like you said, it's very hard not to kick to him.
Especially when it's probably not an in-game motivation at all, but you guys must be aware that he's getting close to the 1,000 mark, and it would be an amazing thing to be a part of, just as a group to help him along that sort of thing. Is that in the back of your mind at any time at all?
Maybe a bit throughout the week. You sort of obviously you know how much of a gun player he's been and how many goals he's kicked, but throughout the game you're not sort of looking to try and give it to him if he's not there and not in the right spot if there's another guy free. So that would be amazing obviously if he got there whenever it might be. To be a part of that would be awesome.
Jordan, you're out of contract at the end of this year. So what's your approach going to be over the next few months to considering whether you stay or start to explore your options?
I think for me it's just playing good footy and leaving that up to my manager and the club. I love it here and I love the boys, so it's just about continuing trying to play good footy and let that talk, I suppose.
And it's your sixth season here. Is there still that lure to return back to South Australia?
Oh, not at this stage, no.
And what about team success? Does that kind of have an impact in the way that you're suddenly surprising the competition with how you're performing? Is that something that motivates you to stick around?
Yeah, definitely. I think you play footy to win and win premierships, and it's nothing to do with individual accolades and stuff like that. So for me, it's been probably a couple of years we've known we've had a good group, and it's just about stringing the consistency together, and that obviously drives me as a player, is that team focus.
What are you expecting from the players this weekend? They're a proud club, obviously. They don't want to be where they are on the ladder. Do you expect them to come out?
Yeah, well, I think they had a good win on the weekend. And they've got back to their defensive aspect of their game, and we expect it to be a hot contest from the outset. And their pressure was really good last week, and their defensive side of the game, like I said, was really good. So that's what we're expecting, and I'm sure we'll get.
And Jordan, there's a bit of an unusual order of events this weekend where you've got the curtain closer with the VFL team on after the AFL team. So do you think the boys will stick around and cheer on the twos, especially with Sam Naismith making his return? Yeah,
definitely. We'll be up in the stands after the game and watching that. It's a bit of a different aspect. Usually, obviously, a curtain raiser. So, but no, we'll be there, and it'll be awesome to see Sam back out there. He's had a tough couple of years, and obviously the 2 knee reconstructions and family stuff, so we'll be out there supporting him, and it should be good to see him play again.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's pretty excited about getting back and putting all the hard work behind him.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just have to tell him to settle down today and just get through, and it'll be awesome to see him.
How did the boys take it last year when he did his knee again? It felt like just a pretty shattering moment all round, but to go from that to see him sort of bounce back from something that probably threatened his career at that time must be pretty inspiring and sort of close quarters.
Yeah, it is inspiring. He's probably come back quicker than what we thought as well, so it just shows how hard he works off the track and in the gym and those sorts of things in his rehab to get back, and it's very inspiring to see the way he's gone about it the last 2 years. He's had a tough run, and it's going to be awesome to see him out there.
Your AFL debut, I think, was against Collingwood, and it was a narrow loss. Do you dislike them since then?
To be honest, I've never really liked them, but that was I think 1 or 2 point loss out here. So that was a shattering game. But like any club, you dislike them when you play them. But I do respect them.